So the Ark Summer Bash is upon us. And your 8-year-old son or daughter is talking about dinosaurs. It's time for Ark, and it's time for some fun. This is Legendary Tactics. So what I thought I'd show you today is a little walkthrough of if you're new to Ark and you are sort of setting it up for your son or daughter. I have an 8-year-old son who is absolutely in love with Ark and dinosaurs, and it is just the coolest thing to him, and we want to make this game really fun, engaging for him and for kids around that age. And what do you have to do then to make sure that happens? So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into host local. Okay, I generally keep my son into the single player mode, but you're going to notice over here on the left hand column there is all these different settings. Okay, now I've gone and preset these, and I'm going to show them to you right now and just walk through real quick what I've done to make sure that my son's experience with Ark is going to be fun, and he's not going to be dying every 22 seconds. So because the map, even at its default setting, is pretty challenging, and definitely you can ramp up to it, but you want them to have a fun experience, basically 1 or 2 shot kills, and just go around and wreaking havoc and taming the beasts of Ark. So without further ado, the difficulty level, I like to really drop that down very low. I have a 0.053. It starts off probably about a third of the way up the scale. The dino damage, so right off the hop you want to keep the dino's effects on you very low, and you want your player damage to be very high. Moving on, structure damage, kind of an irrelevant stat for now. You don't need to worry about that one. The player resistance, you want to have very low resistance, okay? This basically, the higher values decrease resistance and increasing damage per attack that you take. Okay, the dino resistance on the opposite, then you want very high. You want their damage to be very increased as you hit them. Structure resistance, kind of neutral again. Your XP multiplier, this is going to be able to get you leveled up quicker, and you want that jacked to the top, because the faster that you can be building cool stuff is the more engagement your little child's going to have. Taming speed, absolutely warp speed, 3.0. You want that going full bore. Structure damage, repair cooldown, you want that kind of low. If the structures do get destroyed, then they are going to be repairing themselves with due haste. Dino turret damage, not really a worrying thing. Dino harvesting damage, you want that full up. So whenever you do tame that Bronto with one swipe of the vegetables and the vegetation is going to take in hundreds of berries for yourself. Same with the harvest amount, okay? The player water drain, don't want any of that happening. Player food drain, don't want any of that happening. Down to zeros. The dino character food drain, I kept that up a little bit higher. You want them kind of going, especially the wild dinosaurs, to be a little more susceptible and slowing down a bit that way. Same with their stamina, you want it very low. The dino character stamina drain, very low. Your own stamina and your health recovery, extremely high. Okay, the dino character damage, health recovery, I put that square, go closer to the middle. Player harvesting damage, I kept that kind of low. Dino count, all the way to the top. You want as many dinos on the board as you can muster. Okay. The tethering distance, now this is if you and your child are able to get onto the same server. That would be running in a hosting a dedicated or non-dedicated server. You want to be able to run as far and free as you both would wish, so I put that all the way up to the max. So some of these settings down here below the check boxes are also important to take a quick look through. Allowing third-person cam is on. These are kind of the default ones. I don't think there's much in this particular. Enable the crosshairs. Disable loot crates. You want loot crates, they're kind of fun. Friendly fire. I did disable friendly fire because you want to be able to accidentally hit each other, and you never know what the son or daughter is going to do there, so that's fine. And then the rest of them are all just kind of default setting. Now, what's very important is to go to this second tab, the advanced tab. You click on that, and a quick walkthrough will show you a couple things that you're going to want to take note of. So again, the first little bit, they're kind of default settings, which are fine. The structure decay period I kept around the same. Dino decay period, I put that a little bit lower because if an animal does die, and it will happen time to time, you want them decaying slower, and that way you can harvest whatever you want out of them before they disappear off the map. Prevent diseases, definitely click that one on. That you don't want diseases going. That's just kind of an annoyance that or an extra difficulty the game can offer you down the road. Respawn PvP intervals is fine. Raid protection, log off period, no problem, down to 0. PVC, I kept that the same. The multiplier the same. Structure damage about the same. Now in the world settings is kind of where things get a little more interesting. So the poop interval, number 1. Now, my son thought it would be hilarious to have animals just pooping all over the place. So this one is kind of a variable. I don't necessarily need to see that, but the young kids sometimes think it's a real hilarious joke. So I would actually slide mine up to here. You know what? You kind of decide on the character and what your own son or daughter would think hilarious, and do it accordingly. Egg laying intervals. So how often they're going to lay their eggs, again, it's totally up to you. It depends on if you want to be involved with eggs and laying eggs and etc. The mating intervals. Now, if you're interested in trying to mate your dinosaurs, then you're going to have those kind of stats right there. The egg speed, the mature speed of the baby. You want the baby consumption speed low so that they're not going to be consuming like crazy. The harvest health high. The resources respawn. Actually, you would probably want that to be low. Okay, it says here this the lower the number, the more frequently they respawn, or the quicker they respawn. Okay, so that's important. Baby cuddling grace periods, more cuddling. This will be for little babies. Now, this is the important section down here. Okay, the day cycle speed. So you want the day cycle to be very low. I wouldn't suggest 0 because you do want a little bit of night, but where the game defaults to, the nights are quite long, especially for those 8, 9, 10-year-olds, maybe even 7-year-olds, or if your son's pretty mature 6 or daughter mature 6, you could do, depending on their level of how much they can handle. The daytime speed you want slow. The nighttime speed you want very fast. You want to get through nights. Just let them have a little taste for it, I would suggest. So as you can see, I didn't quite put those to 0, but I put them pretty close. Okay. Spoiling time almost down to 0. Just let those things last forever. Decomp time same. The corpse decomposition time same. Okay. The crop speed, now getting crops is getting a little bit more advanced. So we come now to the wild dino stats per level. Okay, so these are the stats of the wild dinos. Okay, so you want their health to be relatively low, stamina low. So when it comes to torpidity, what you're going to want to do is make sure that the torpidity under the wild dinosaur stat is down to 0, or closest to 0.01 is fine. That ensures that the dinosaur basically will be taming even the faster for you. And okay, we move along to the tame dino stats. You want their torpidity then to be extremely high because they're now your dinosaurs. Moving along, we're going to go to the torpidity of the tame dinos add per level. You want them maximizing their torpidity. And tame dino stats affinity towards torpidity, again, high. Player stats torpidity. So this is important. You want to make sure your torpidity is very high, that you can withstand and a great amount of torpidity. Your oxygen as well, you want to be oxygen gain so you're not dizzy, and make sure those two stats are maxed out as well. For most times it's actually increasing your levels, but there are a few very specialized situations that you do want them to be going in the opposite direction, so you just have to be a little bit careful of that. We're going to go through these last little few things here. Fishing loot, that's fine. Fuel consumption, you can drop fuel consumption down. Increase the platform structure limit, that can be down. So once you have these settings all in order, the next thing to do is go ahead and play the game. And you can see we're running around here, no problem. let's just see how we do against... Oh yes, I do already have a tamed carb here. Called him Loverboy because I am attempting to get him mating with another one. I want to try and I'll be doing a mating video soon. And just as we're looking for this, one of the conflicts I had with this game is at what point do you allow your children to play this game? So that is going to be a very much child-specific question. My 8-year-old and 10-year-old, I have absolutely no problem with them playing this game. More sensitive children, though, maybe a little bit more prone to the blood or gore of this game. So you do have to be careful with that. Now let's just take a little... Let's I see a good test over here of our strength and determination. We're going to go over here and we're going to just try and tackle one of these big beasts. Hopefully it doesn't kill me and put my video flat on its face. Oh, there's a good guy to attack right now. Let's go get this guy here. Let's see what happens. Okay, oh, dead. One shot. Yes, see, there we go. Okay, so the Tiboa. No problem. Let's go get this guy and one shot, two... I think I got him by the heel. 2 shots. He's running. Gonna catch him here. Whoa! Okay, I got attacked by someone else. What is this thing? Well, that was a raptor. Okay, he's dead. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots. Okay, 4 shots to kill the para. That's not bad. Oh, another guy's here. Well, let's get some meat. Let's see what we get out of his stuff here. Oh, prime meat. Let's see. Maybe we can go... Oh boy, lots of prime meat. Oh, we're just racking up the hide, prime meat. There's lots to be taken here. You can see what I mean by the blood and gore. So you want to just be mindful of that for the younger kids if they find that to be a bit gruesome. Obviously, it's a little bit neater. I'm punching these guys to death, so you would probably be, axing them or hatcheting them, which would definitely lessen the amount of that nonsense. But nonetheless, it is a ton of fun for those kids to be romping around and having a grand old time. And you are probably able to destroy whatever you wish, running as long as you want, as fast as you want, and just basically letting your son or daughter wreak havoc in the game. So, if this was a little bit helpful to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and thank you for watching. This was Legendary Tactics.